Let's get more on the situation and bring in someone who we understand has just left Iran, joining us from another location, Doha, Qatar, as you can see. He's Kevan Gafaïti, professor at Sciences Po in Paris. Kevan, thanks for being with us. Tell us about the Iran that you have just left.
Yes, hello, thank you for the invitation. I'm a lecturer at Sciences Po Paris, a French university, and I am currently here at the international airport of Doha in Qatar. I was in Iran for 3 weeks in Tehran, and I just left the country this afternoon for Tehran. I can tell you that a real part of the images that you showed is the concrete reality on the ground. But on the other side, exactly these kind of images were not showed to the population of Iran, because actually, as you said, there is a complete blackout. It is just now that I have finally internet in the airport. Before that, I didn't have any connection. I didn't have the possibility to. So when I say I didn't have, I mean the Iranians do not have the possibility to know what is happening on the streets just next to them, because actually you are just navigating at sight with what you see on your eyes. And I can tell you that, I tell you explicitly that I was not a part of the demonstrations, because it was completely super risky. But I can tell you that even when you are not a part of that, you are necessarily in the middle of that. For at least 2 reasons. Even if you are staying at your home, you will on one side hear the screams of the demonstrations, the slogans that they are shouting. On the other side, the repression, the response of the security apparel of the state. So I mean, there is of course different waves of sound that you are going to get, and one is definitely let's say more dangerous compared to the other one. And then there is another face of Iran, of Tehran, each morning when you are just walking on the street and you are seeing the city completely destroyed. I didn't see anybody on the street, but you can clearly see that each night there is a lot of damages. For example, for very specific examples, you had a lot of mosques that were destroyed. The mosque in my neighborhood was put into fire. And as you know, a mosque is a symbol of religion, but also a symbol of power, especially in Iran, because the two of them are necessarily linked. So there is a lot of violence on this side. There is also a lot of information coming from the television, because the internet is shut down, but not the television. And we are hearing a lot of things. It is completely hard to make the truth in all of this information. For example, that some actors, meaning Israel, are active in the country. Well, we had the information that during the war of the 12 days in June 2025, Iran was very active on the ground for military purposes. And now we are hearing that apparently Israel is at least following very carefully this kind of event. Now we are seeing that Donald Trump is potentially going to make an attack on Iran. So maybe something like in Iraq, in Afghanistan. So it is very hard to see the reality of the ground, even when you are on the ground. But I can tell you that it is a situation very uncommon and completely different, distinct from what happened 2 and 3 years ago with Mahsa Amini, when you had a woman killed because of her veil. Now it is not about the social aspect. It is completely first about the economy. It is completely impossible for the Iranians to live. Honestly, it is not a saying, it is not an expression. I don't know how they are making a living, because the prices are, when you are buying food, the prices are like in the state of France, I'm French, in Europe, in the United States of America, but the salary in Iran is around 200 euros per month. So I don't know how they do make a living. So first it was economic, and now it is completely political. And then you are going to have different actors, such as the Shah, the son of the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, who is now talking about coming in the country, back in the country. You have a lot of people outside and inside of the country talking about this possibility. What is the probability of this possibility? It is very hard to tell at this moment, but I can tell you that it is very hard for the Iranians to get any kind of information, and also any kind of organization, because you cannot talk with yourself. You are now able to call not using internet, but to call with a cellular network until 3 days ago, it was not possible. So, I mean, the first 3 days, you were in a complete blackout without phone, without internet. And for only 3 days now, you can now call your different partners, friends, family in Iran. So another very important information is that the country is completely slowing down regarding its economy. The Great Bazaar of Iran, which is the heart, the economic heart of Iran, of Tehran, is completely shut. The shops are completely shut because they were destroyed by the demonstrations that you are showing. There was a lot of banks, there was a lot of private shops that were destroyed. And for the rest of them, they are just so much afraid to open, or maybe by support of the demonstrators. So the situation is very evolutive, and I think we should completely see every day and actually every minute the evolution of the situation. But again, it is completely hard to have a global analysis of the situation because it is materially impossible.
Kevan Gafaïti, thank you for joining us. I didn't interrupt you because it was very clear that you were speaking very passionately and very lucidly about the situation that you've just left. And I think you've given us a really rounded view of what Iranians are dealing with right now. We thank you for that, and thank you for being with us on France 24 to share what you have seen. Kevan Gafaïti, lecturer at Sciences Po here in Paris, joining us from Doha. Thank you, sir. Safe journeys to you, and thank you once again.